Born and raised Hamiltonian, was born at St. Joe's Hospital here in 1962. Came back in '95 after I retired after almost 12 years in the National Hockey League to be with my mother, Joyce. I grew up a single parent in the Afton neighborhood, right Gage Park.
Our next inductee is former NHL defenseman Ric Nattress.
Joyce Nattress, big hockey fan, originally from Toronto, so she was a huge Leaf fan. I might also say that she was a season ticket holder for the Hamilton Ticats for 42 years. So having a lady and a mother that was sports oriented in the 60s was quite rare. So she felt after the '67 Stanley Cup of the Toronto Maple Leafs, it was time for me to start playing hockey. Where I started was Eastwood Park, the Bay Area here, north end of Hamilton. Played on the outdoor rink where the parents shoveled it. You know, I played net my first year because I wasn't a very good skater. My first hockey school was Big B Hockey School here in Hamilton. I went to the rink with my mom. We didn't have a car, so we took the bus. And she had gone to Canadian Tire years, previously to get me equipment, not knowing the full scope of what you needed. When I got to the hockey school and I was supposed to go out with my age group, unfortunately I didn't have the right equipment. I was at that time 6 years old, so I was going out with guys that were 10 and 11. So they had been playing hockey for a couple years previously, so when I got out there I couldn't stand up and I was hanging onto the boards and technically, well, I'll tell this story, I was crying, right? And I'm saying, I don't want to play this game, I don't want to play this game. My mom says, if you want to play hockey, you got to toughen up. So, after Eastwood Park, I moved into the Barton Street Barn, which was the old Hamilton Red Wings played there. I played there right until it closed, until 1974, I believe it was, and then I moved on to Wentworth Triple Rinks and started my career at the Husky level, I guess.
1978, some big, tall, lanky guy from Hamilton comes in, and his name was Ric Nattress, and we just became very good friends right from the start.
A product of the Hamilton Huskies program, Ric was drafted 27th overall by Montreal from the Brantford Alexanders in 1980. He appeared in 40 games with the Canadiens in the 1982-83 season, played in 34 games with the Habs in the 1983-84 season, and 5 more the following season, before being traded to the St. Louis Blues.
He had a lot of heart, and everybody always told Ric that he would never do it, he'd never make it. And you know what, just from junior on, he's one of those guys that was always at the rink, enjoyed the game.
As I said, I grew up with a lady that was very determined. She was only 5'1", but she always believed that if she gave me an opportunity, the rest was up to me. And she used to say if she can go in at 4 o'clock in the morning and scrub pizza ovens, at least I could do is go to the rink for a couple hours and work as hard as I could. So I always kept that in the back of my mind.
After playing 2 seasons with the Blues, Ric was dealt to the Calgary Flames after the 1986-87 season.
I've been in hockey for 50 years now, pretty much.
He's still playing old-timers hockey and doing a lot for charity. And, that's the character that, you could be the best hockey player in the world, but if you don't have character, and Ric just has character. And
I've been married to a wonderful girl that, started off fooling me that she knew hockey. We started dating when, pretty much minor midget.
Great family man. The person that was probably the most dedicated to his hockey was his mom.
He played for 4 years in Calgary and was on the Flames Stanley Cup Championship team in 1989.
I think one of my proudest moments, certainly winning the Stanley Cup was one of those, but one of the proudest moments that I had with my mom and I guess my family was playing for Team Canada at the World Championships in 1991 in Helsinki in Finland.
Before being traded to Toronto in a 10-player blockbuster deal, which also sent Doug Gilmour to Toronto. After joining the Philadelphia Flyers as a free agent for the 1992-93 season, he retired. All told, Ric played 536 regular season games, and while he was known as a solid positional rear guard, he still managed to record 29 goals and 135 assists for 164 points. The blue liner also appeared in 67 playoff games, collecting 5 goals and 10 assists. The 6'3", 210-pounder was also a member of the 1985 AHL Calder Cup champion Sherbrooke Canadians and played 7 games with Team Canada in the 1991 World Hockey Championship. Following his playing days, Ric was an assistant coach during the first 2 years of the Hamilton Bulldogs at the American Hockey League, starting in 1996, and has been involved at the junior hockey level as well. He has also remained close to the game, working radio and TV, and entertaining people at sports dinners across the country.
Ric was one of those guys that got along with everybody. He had a huge heart, and you know, he's the ultimate team player.
I think the most exciting hockey I've ever seen in my life, even though I played in the Stanley Cup, played in some conference finals, you know, done stuff like that. But I think, you know, being Hamilton has, you know, been a privilege, and I think it's been my backbone in regards to how I look at things and how I perceive who I am and where I came from, and how I should relate my experiences to the younger generation.
Inducted into the Hamilton Sports Hall of Fame in 2017, Ric Nattress.